here you go. Hey guys, my name is Alex and thank you very much for stopping by. Really appreciate your visit. And today I want to solve the previous problem, the Fibonacci problem with even numbers. And I want to solve that using a better code design. That's it. That's the third step that usually I take. The first step is solving the problem and understanding the problem. The second step is getting the job done with ugly code, code that the first code that you can write just to get the job done. And the third step is trying to get a little bit more maintainable code and easier to understand, more readable, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, today this video is all about having a better good design. Let's get into it. As you can see, this was the previous version, from the previous video. And here you have a few things going on here. So the first one is that I'm taking this count argument, and then I have this local variable, I have another local variable, and I have another local variable. I have three local variables. That's not that great, but let's go and let's try to understand what's happening here. So I have this for loop expression, and what happens here is that I have this first part, or these three lines which are calculating the sequence of the Fibonacci sequence, and then I have this other responsibility, which in this case is calculating the sum of the even numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. And you have two different responsibilities here. I don't like to have two different responsibilities inside the same for loop expression. So the first step that I want to take is I want to split that up into two different responsibilities. One is calculating the Fibonacci sequence itself, and the second one is, given this array, this sequence, the Fibonacci sequence, I want to pass this sequence to this new method that will be responsible for calculating the sum of the even numbers. And we have two different things. Let's see where it goes. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to create this method called def sum, which in this case I'm defining this sum method, and it takes an argument, which in this case will be an array, and here you go. Now I want to remove this sum here because I don't want to do this here, and I want to remove this one. Perfect. Okay. Now, because I'm removing that sum, I don't need to have this local variable, because I was keeping that local variable just because I wanted to use that in the sum expression. So I'm going to remove this, and instead of using the number, I'm going to use the sequence itself. So I have the sequence, and then here you go, and I have this sequence receiving this expression, or the evaluation of this expression. And we did that before in the previous video, two videos I think before we did this. And I have the sum that I can remove, and here you go. That's not the best way to solve this Fibonacci sequence, but this is one of the ways that we have. If I want to calculate this Fibonacci, let's calculate, for example, 8. If you execute this, yes, here you go. You have all of the sequence, perfect, until 21. It seems that it's working. And now what I want to do is, because now I have this sequence, I want, based on this sequence, I want to call the method sum. Here you go. Perfect. Let's solve this in a really beautiful way in Ruby. Essentially, and as I said before, this is the step 4 probably. When we try to see how Ruby or another language, the way that the language provides us to solve the problem in this case in a more opinionated way. In this case, you have a beautiful way to manipulate arrays in Ruby. So I can't stress enough how I love this. So what I can do, I can just say, hey, array, I want a favor. Please select all of the numbers where the number is dividable by 2, which in this case the remainder value will be 0, and with the numbers that you have, please reduce them using this sum. Yes, that's it. So that's not the first time that we're seeing this. You know, we did that in a previous video. And yeah, this is almost plain English. You're just saying, array, please select all the numbers where the number is divisible by 2, and please reduce the list of numbers that you have found and sum all of them. If you execute this, let me see, 10. Let's see. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which in this case, the numbers that are divisible by 2 is 2 itself, which in this case it's here, and 8. And now you have the sum of them, 10. Amazing. If you put 9, I know that 9 is 44 from the previous video, I think. And yes, 44. Here we go. So again, this was the beautiful way that Ruby, that Ruby provides us to solve this type of problem when you are manipulating arrays. And this is a more declarative way. This is a functional strategy. If you like functional programming, you are just saying, I want this. You're not explaining how you want that. That's it. So this is beautiful. Again, I can't stress enough how I love this. And yeah, I hope that you liked it, and see you in the next coding challenge.